So you might be asking yourself, the Steep Valley Fire, we had the Berry Mountain Fire. How in the world are these things named? We have the Steep Valley Fire, 1,055 acres burned. Of course, we are in the New River Gorge area. Farther south, what we have is the Straight Fork 1 and 2. This is 240 acres burned. We are along I-77 just to the east of that area. And as we continue our journey to the north and west, the Cinderella Hollow and Buffalo Mountain. No acreage listed for these particular fires. Of course, all those brush fires happened last fall. We are currently tracking the Berry Mountain Fire, and you might be wondering how these fires get their name. Well, the incident commander, the person responsible for spearheading the effort to fully contain these fires, usually names the fire based on the location where it occurred. But there are occasions where they are going in to attack the fire and something out of the ordinary happens. Dave Berry, our point of contact with the National Park Service at the New River Gorge, said that once a bear came running past them as they were going to attack a fire, so they named it the Running Bear Fire. So there you go. That's how these fires get their names. Chief Meteorologist Chad Merrill for Newswatch. So I guess if a deer is coming towards them, they'll call it the Deer Valley Fire.
Deer Rush Fire instead.
Deer Rush Fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, are we seeing any signs of these brush fires that we are seeing now going to look like how they were last year? We saw that file footage. The Steep Valley Fire was a big one last year.
A couple thousand acres.
Are we seeing something like that happening soon with these fires now?
I am gravely concerned about Sunday. I am gravely concerned because it's going to be very low humidity, and also we are going to have the wind as well. So, it's going to take them a while to contain these two fires. Mm-hmm. They've only burned a couple of acres, but they need to get to it in a very desolate area in a very rugged terrain. I don't see a pattern change for us for a while. So we obviously will get a little bit of moisture Wednesday, but beyond that, I don't really see a pattern that's going to produce a sustainable wet pattern through the end of September. So I think we're going to have a very rough brush fire season. I really just hope that in 2002, we had a severe drought too, and we had very little in the way of fire activity. So I'm hoping that, people don't burn brush, dispose properly of these cigarette butts. Mm-hmm. And, some of these fires the cause hasn't been determined. We have railroad tracks that go through the New River Gorge, so it's possible a spark could be ignited by, a spark near a leaf or something like that. So those incidents are obviously, fly in the ointment, but they do happen. So let's just hope that despite the fact that we have a dry pattern, we are in a historic drought, that we don't get more brush fires started, because if one gets started, it's just going to go to town. There's just no way around it, because these streams and creeks are dry and everything's parched, and the leaves are going to, with these winds, the leaves are going to come off the trees too. And not all of them, but I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but this is what we're going through.
We have a lot to talk about with this, but we have even more news and weather coming your way after the break.